Star-Crossed Alien Mail-Order Brides Collection, Volume 3. Written by Susan Hayes. Narrated by Tieran Wilder. Chapter 1. Karos had to give the humans credit. They were persistent. From his vantage point on the top floor of the joint Pyrosian-Romaki embassy, he had a clear view of the bedraggled group of protesters gathered outside the gate. Their signs were sagging in the driving rain, and the winter wind was colder than a snow dragon in a snit, but they kept coming back. Day after day they stood outside and chanted their hate-filled slogans. They were swaddled in so many layers of clothing they were barely recognizable, but he could name each and every one of them. They were the faces of the Humanity First movement, the ones too angry or too stupid to hide their identities. They weren't the real threat, though. The danger came from the ones whose names they still didn't know, the ones who had taken over after their leader, Justin Kynes, had been captured months ago. He and his lieutenants were in custody, but they refused to cooperate, or even speak to anyone since their arrests. Justin had been convicted of orchestrating the bombing at BC Place Stadium more than a year ago that had killed dozens of Pyrosians and put a strain on the newly forged bonds between the humans and the rest of the Interplanetary Council. The Council had previously agreed to allow humanity probationary status, but some of their members were concerned that humans, as a species, were too young and volatile to be allowed access to the collective knowledge and technology they were being given. Blowing up a sports stadium hadn't done anything to quell those concerns. The daily protests weren't helping either. While most of humanity had welcomed the Pyrosian and Romaki, there were still those who let their fear of change consume them. The fear and doubt on both sides were a continuous source of concern for everyone involved. Karos had witnessed this same cycle of fear and distrust on his planet when the rulers and the temples had gone to war over the future of the Romaki people. After a year of fighting, the worst was over. The power-mad priests were defeated, the ruling families had prevailed, and the healing had started. Not for him, though. As a member of the Royal Guard, he'd been in the thick of the fighting. He'd done his duty, defending the king of the Fire Dragon clan and reclaiming the future for all Romaki, but the victory had come at a cost. His soul was soaked in the blood of too many beings whose only mistake was giving in to their fear. He had tried to move on, but his homeland was haunted, and so was he. When he heard about the embassies on Earth, he'd volunteered immediately. It was what he needed, a fresh start and a clear mission. Protect the embassy and show the humans there's nothing to fear. He could do that.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?